Hello, today I'm going to show you how to use the continuous join as you go technique to join hexagons together while I make this rather large trivet. Those of you who are familiar with my patterns, you know I already have a technique for joining squares together that's continuous join as you go. This one is quite similar to that. If you're good at picturing things, you might even be able to see how it is. So I'm only joining 7 hexagons together, but this method will work for any number of them. The main difference between joining hexagons together this way and joining squares together this way is that all of your hexagons have to be the same size for this to work. Other than that, that's all you need to know. Today I am using Bernat Handicrafter cotton. I got the white from my scrap stash, and then this is the sage green. And I used a 5.5mm hook for the hexagons and the join. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is lay your hexagons out so that the flat sides are this way. Okay, so they're horizontally, so you'll have points on the right and left side, but the top and bottom are flat. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is find the rightmost column and then the topmost hexagon and start in the top right corner of that. Left-handed people, find the leftmost column, the topmost hexagon, and the top left corner to start on. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at crocheting with my left hand, so apologies. So I'm going to start in the top right corner. I'm going to join my yarn on, and I'm going to do another round basically of the same pattern. This is included in the pattern linked below, but it's like making a granny square, except you only do groups of 2 double crochets, and you make sure there's 6 on a side when you start. So I'm in the corner here. I'm going to do 2 double crochets, including the turning chain. And I'm just going to follow the path, which has me going across the top of this hexagon, sorry. I'm going to turn the corner. I'm going to turn the corner. Basically, I want to go until I have 2 sides that I have not crocheted into, which I think is here. I'm going to just go to halfway through the corner. 1, 2, 3. No, I got to keep going. Oops. So I'll finish that corner. And then I'm at this corner here. I'm just going to do this 2 double crochets on the one side there. So I've got 1, 2 sides. So this fits in the diagram like so. Okay, so now we're down here. I'm going to join this hexagon on next. And this is just like joining the squares. You slip stitch into the side you've already crocheted whenever you get to a space. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the corner here, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this space here. And then I'll do 2 double crochets and slip stitch across. And we're at the corner, so I'll do 2 double crochets, and I'll be able to slip stitch into the corner of the previous hexagon, and then I'll chain 1 to just lock that in place. Okay, so that's where we are. I've gone around here and then across the top of this one. If you are continuing with more hexagons than just these 2, like you have some more down at the bottom here, you would go around the same way as you did this one. So all the way here, leaving 2 sides not finished. And you keep going around and around and around like that until you get to your last one, at which point you're only going to do the 3 sides, so leaving 3 sides open. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this corner here. Now we're corner again. Okay. So I've added 2 more sides on there for a total of 3. So that's where we are now. So we went around here and then we went to here. So this is our bottom one on this row. We're going to go to the next row. I will say though, if your second row isn't as long as mine, like it isn't one bigger than the previous round, than the previous column. So say it's like this, you wouldn't have done this. You would have just gone here and then gone to join up, right? So basically you're going to go around this last hexagon for as many sides as you need to match up so that your hook is where the bottom corner is of the next one, right? But I do have this one. So this one, I'm going to this side point. All right, so I'll go ahead and do half of the corner here. Doing a slip stitch join. And I'll just do this. Okay. Now I'm going to do the two sides of this next hexagon. Okay, when we get to the inside corner on this one, I need to join with a slip stitch into this, both of these corners basically. A couple ways you can do this. You could go down through this corner and come up through this corner and pull your loop through, or you can find the space in between. See if I can show that. Basically there's 2 double crochets here and there's 2 double crochets here, and you want to go to the space between them. That's my preferred spot, but you'll get similar results no matter what you do. I'll go up this side next. Okay, I'm at a corner. I'll join to the corner here and lock that in. All right, so this is how far we've gone. If your column is longer, keep going up the 2 sides as all the way up. On the last hexagon, we're actually going to go all the way around this one. Okay, so we're going to start in this corner, work our way around back to where we started here. So I'm just going to pick a corner here. Oops. Oh, and are we joining? We're joining. Just on one side here. The corner. Okay, and now we're just freely edging. Okay, now I'm at the first corner again. I'm just going to finish off the stitches there. Let's lay it out again. So now I'm going to finish this row, or this column of hexagons. When you're working down, and this is very similar to joining the squares together, you're going to go around each hexagon and finish edging it all the way down this column. When you get to the last one, well, I'll show you. So I'll just go around this one now. I need to join this corner up first. Got to turn it upside down. So I'm going to go into the corner of that hexagon there, join with a slip stitch, and then continue on around this one. Finish that corner there. Join at every space. All right, we're done joining. Now we're just edging. Okay, and that takes us all the way around that second to last hexagon. I'm going to join into the corner here with a slip stitch. So now that we're on the last hexagon in this column, I'm just going to join along this edge and then crochet that edge. We'll start up our next column, unless your next column is longer, in which case you would go all the way, you'd join here, you'd edge here, you'd edge here, so that it's ready to join down there. I hope that makes sense. All right, let's do 2 sides here. Okay, so I've joined along one side here, and I'm going to do one more of just edging. And now we're going to add another column of hexagons. It's just like when we added this one. We're going to go in as straight a line as the hexagons allow us to go in that direction. So we'll start a corner here. Okay. Oh. I'm going to find that spot in between the 2 hexagons to insert my hook. And I'm going to go up this side. So we got that one on. So we're putting our next hexagon on now. We're going to go all the way around it. So whenever you get to the top of a column, you just go all the way around. Go into the corner there. Okay, I've made it all the way around. I'm going to join into the corner over here. Show you where we are. Okay, so you can see I've only got one more hexagon in this column, but we're also at the bottom left corner of the thing that I'm making. I think it'll be a trivet. I've used cotton yarn. So now that we're at this point, you're going to go in this column. If it was longer, just keep going around like we did on this middle one. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is I am going to join these 2 together, and then I'm going to continue around until I get back to our beginning. So I'll finish the corner there. So now I'm just going along the outside edge until I get to the beginning. All right, I've reached the corner here. We're just going to find, again, that space between. I've got 2 double crochets here. I've got 2 of them over here. I want to find the space between them. Join with a slip stitch there. And I'll continue on around the next hexagon. We reached another indented corner here. Again, I'm going to find that spot in between to insert my hook for the slip stitch and continue on. And now I've reached where I started. All right, the next step is optional. I like to add when I'm doing squares with a continuous join, I like to add another round on the outside. I think it balances things well, because if you look in between my hexagons, you can see it's actually 2 rows in between all of them, and there's only 1 row on the outside. So I like to add a second round, but it's a little trickier with the hexagons because, well, you do have the sort of mountain points, to use an origami term. You've got the mountain here. That works the same way as your pattern for your hexagons, but you've also got these valleys. There's a lot of ways you can do this. I'm going to show you what I came up with on mine. So I'm just going to join that. And again, I'm on a mountain point here, so I'm going to just do that normally. So I've gone as far as I can on the side. Now I'm at one of the valley corners. What I think is probably your best move here is to make a double crochet into the space between these corners. And then continue on the side. Just go a little farther so we can see what it looks like. Okay. So that, I think it's keeping the same angle, which is, I think, what we want. So if you find that this is too tall, try a half double crochet. Or maybe you really want it to be quite tucked in. You could do a single crochet, you could do a slip stitch even. It's just going to pull this corner in. So it depends on the look you want. I think this is the option that keeps it as similar to the hexagons you have already. So just do that in every valley. Do the corners the way you did on the hexagons and you're good to go. And there we go. We'll just join that there. Cut our yarn. There we go. That's how you join hexagons together with a continuous join as you go method. Thanks for watching. I've got a cat trying to get in. I missed the corner again. That looked wrong. What's wrong, Boo Bear? Hmm? Yeah, almost, baby, almost. Yeah? Almost. Yeah, you helping Mom weaving in the ends? No, not one more side. No, you're doing the opposite, aren't you? Yeah. Almost a little nuisance. Okay, yes, you're adorable. And you get all of the stitches in the world. Yeah, there you go, okay. Bye-bye. Mama's gonna do the intro. Yeah, I gotta do the introduction. I think they'll love seeing your butt. I think they'd rather see the project. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, you wanna go on to bed? Oh gosh, okay, now you're moving the camera. Okay. Okay, baby. Okay, here we go. Okay, there you go. Go smell some things or whatever. Jeez.